Hello everyone, I am Tacit and welcome to the Gems of War Campaign 14 Week 9, Day 7. So today we're on the final stretch, of course, of the campaign as well. But for the other summer event, I still have the last final week coming up. Next week, most noteworthy, we probably have the new Mythic, which looks kind of interesting. Not sure how much overall usability it's going to end up getting used, but definitely has some potential. But anyways, let's start getting into everything. So, right off the top, let's go with the Aravatar's Tusk. This is kind of like the Mythic that's coming in, though weaker. Though the Mythic's already pretty weak, but, you know, weaker than that. It deals a bunch of damage to an enemy, boosted by its life at a... Oh gosh, I don't know its boost ratio. No, 1 second. Of course it doesn't say, because it never does. At a boost ratio of 3 to 1, which is pretty bad. Even at 1 to 1, that's not the... Oh, actually at 1 to 1 it would kill. Never mind. Well, if it did true damage at 1 to 1, no, physical damage at 1 to 1 still would even be bad. So yeah, that's kind of not good. Deal some damage to an enemy, boost that 3 to 1 based on its life. So even if it has 100 life, that's only 33 additional damage, which is still basically 0. If the enemy dies, it does get to create 8 Death Mark gems and 8 skulls. However, that's going to be a weird mixture that can easily just, you know, overwrite each other. Well, not overwrite each other directly, but, you know, it's not a good mix, to say the least. Because you can end up just blocking yourself out and not really getting any value at all. Or just giving the enemy a bunch of stuff. They could easily get a skull poke, they'll end up death marking you. Of course, it does have the, actually, yeah, it does have the immune, but, you know, they just stun you and you don't have the immune anymore, so it can easily end up backfiring there. As far as the world events, it looks like it is rarity order as soon as you get to the phase 3. Oh wait, is it going to be... Yeah, it's phase 3. So after 31 battles, it's just rarity order. Prior to then, it is still rarity order, so you don't really need to worry about it too much. Though I believe you do get more points. Let's see. As the battles get harder, so taking more of the same. So that isn't really relevant for the later portion. Once you hit 31 plus battles, but for the really early fights, you might want to prioritize taking more of one of these than the other, and more of one of these than the other, to potentially get slightly more points in that regard. But as long as you're not taking a Ravatar's Tusk, you should be perfectly fine to maximize your points, especially once you reach 31st battle forward. We do have some reworks to the trial teams as well, as of course we've been getting quite often lately, as far as reworks with them. We'll be changing the player team to the following: Ruby Giant, which I believe whenever he gets hit, he gets like a red giant gem, and creates a couple convert, maybe like converts brown to red. I actually don't remember what its convert is, but I believe it converts like 5 things to red giant gems. Second Claw Arher. Gosh, I forget that one too. Behemoth's probably your entire team. Behemoth's good. It's an AoE with Mass Destroy. This amount of Destroy actually used to be really good back in the day, prior to troops destroying the entire board in one cast. Behemoth at one point was the highest amount of destroys you could do on a cast. It got buffed to, I believe, 10 at one point, which at one point was the highest. Though that's a while ago. Of course, now our average is like, what, 50-something destroys? If not more. Like, if it doesn't destroy the whole board, it's barely even a Mass Destroyer. And now Spirit Main... Wow, why do I forget what every single one of these are? These are like really off-meta things other than Behemoth. Though Behemoth's not used in the meta, but it's the main one that's relevant. It does... Oh, sorry, they raised it to 12 destroy, not 10. I think it used to be like 8 or something, and then they raised it to 12. But anyways, it deals... I think the thing I was referring to with 10 is he gains 10 per extra turn. HP, that is. But yeah, he deals a bunch of damage to all enemies and destroys some gems. He'll be the main thing that you carry with. So what were the other ones? Ruby Giant, let's see, what's his convert? I know generally what he does, I forget what his convert color is. It is blue to red, not brown to red. Okay, he uses brown and red, but he converts blue to red, that makes sense. And he has stone skin and everything else, and he creates a red giant gem whenever he gets hit. So that'll be okay, it'll be a pretty fine tank. Second Claw, I completely forget what this one is, the other two. Second Claw does nothing. It destroys a 3x3, gain a bunch of attack to all allies. Oh, well, you can... Wait, never mind, it's not absolutely nothing. You could technically do it to mass buff attack. Kind of, but it's only all allies above, which is just so weird. And then magic to all below, of course. That is a really, really weird mechanic, because that's worse than just, like, Luther's old ability, where you just, like, gave attack to everything. I guess he does get to destroy a 3x3 block, but that does not make up for how bad that is. And, but you can use them to mass gain attack if you so choose. Use them all the way in the last slot there. And Spirit Main. Apparently not even showing up. What's Spirit Main? Spirit... There shouldn't be that many things with Spirit in it, right? Oh, then again, actually there would be. Spirit... how did I spell my Spirit Main wrong? Is it Spirit then M? Why is there nothing here? Are they doing a troop that doesn't exist? What am I typing wrong? Spirit main. Am I going crazy? Is this why I don't know this troop exists? Because it quite literally doesn't. Spirit M. Okay, I'm going insane. I'm going to Pride Lands. Let's go under S and Pride Lands. It has to be somewhere there. Let's see. It sounds familiar, but I don't recall this troop. Spirit main. And apparently, nor does the game itself. Oh, it's one word. They mistyped it on the thing. It's Spirit main, not Spirit main. But yeah, it's one word, not two. But yeah, he's useless. He doesn't have an attacking that you can synergize with the other guy's attacking, though. So you basically have two strategies. Either pretend Behemoth is your only troop, which is probably the more viable strategy, or mass gain attack until you just one-shot everything. The problem with that is you don't gain durability, it's just purely attack. So you're only gaining offense while gaining no defense. So I'm pretty sure the strategy will just be center your whole team around making sure Behemoth just keeps spamming. And basically just put him all the way near last, or literally last slot. And just have him carry your entire team just by casting it over and over and over again. And I'm pretty sure that is going to be the strategy. The other alternative is to mass gain attack. But I feel like it'll die before it can get enough attack to be relevant. We're going to be up against nothing too bad. Salamander's Burn won't do that much. Oh, Sakima is going to be annoying. Sakima has a mass skull convert and probably the main annoying thing on the opposing team. So Sakima has... why can't we have this on our team? It transforms blue to skulls and basically it's double converter. It converts blues to skulls and browns to yellow and deals some damage to them. It's also boosted by all other allies' magic, which that can boost surprisingly high, especially when the enemy has that high stats in the battle like that. So it'll be interesting to see exactly how that pans out, because obviously on the higher battles, the amount of extra magic they're going to have, it's going to be in like the hundreds or somewhere around there. So across the entire team, it's going to be hitting like, what, 300, 400 on top of skull damage? Like, Sakima is by far the biggest threat. But we don't really have a proper way to kill her directly, because your main two ways to kill are skulls, but she's in third slot, or AoE damage, and obviously that doesn't focus on any given one, so it's going to be really hard to kill her. She's probably going to be the biggest threat by far as things. But doesn't that one Lava Giant do, doesn't have like a targetable hit? Let's see, Ruby Giant. I believe you can target poke. Yeah, you're going to have to spam this guy. Honestly, he shouldn't be your first slot. You're going to meet shield with something else, have him in second, have the other guy in third, and then probably put Behemoth safe in fourth. Because this guy needs to live, as this is the only thing that you have that can kill Sakima directly. You're probably just going to spam him and Behemoth over and over again. Even though you don't have the red synergy there, unfortunately, red does not go into Behemoth, it's brown-blue. But and plus you'll be blocking on brown. But you will be able to go single target focus the Sakima with your Ruby Giants, and then have Behemoth constantly keep chipping it down, and just keep casting those until it dies, because killing Sakima is by far going to be the biggest threat on the trial fight. Anyways, other things that we have going on next week. So, let's go over to the, well, Mythic, we'll go over that in a second. Let's go over all the weekly events. So, things that are weekly related going on tomorrow. The most noteworthy ones are the things that are still continuing. For example, the campaign. We will be concluding the campaign next week, so any progress you want to get on that. That also means you'll be able to go get the Ravatar Mythic, if you don't already have it. If you didn't get the bigger pass, standard pass gets it next week. Free to play will get it at some point, probably in a couple months from now. But it is available. The rest of the season pass last week to finish out if you want to get anything there. Aside from that, we do have the summer event, which of course we need to go do our battles for today. Make sure to do your battles for every single day. And you just get some progress. We already got the troop, we already got the armor, and we're working on the flower now, which also makes Firenze a little bit stronger, though not better than Queen Etania still. And then eventually we'll go for the power orb all the way at the end. Anyways, other than that, so yeah, World Event, and so World Event we already went over. The two other events are still ongoing, we went over. It's still going to be the campaign and the summer event. Faction event is just going to be associated to Pride Lands. One pretty noteworthy thing about Pride Lands, which I didn't mention yet, which is exceedingly relevant, is Soulforge. If we go over to Soulforge, well, it won't show up here because, well, it's not that Soulforge week. But underneath weapons, you'll be able to get Rope Dart next week. Rope Dart is really, really, really absurdly good. It's one of the strongest weapons in the game. Potentially the absolute strongest if it was based only on win rate. As I'm pretty sure this thing's win rate is absurd. It eliminates all armor from an enemy and deals some damage to them. So, you know, standard, like, Meng-like weapon as far as that regard. But there's two things that's really relevant. One is it gains extra turn. It's one of only several hero weapons in the entire game that extra turns upon cast. The other thing that's absolutely amazing about it is that it gets to pull them to the first position. This, on its own, isn't that good, but it gets to move them to first position and then entangle them. It's done on the affix thingy, so the entangle takes place after the fact. So it'll first move the new troop to first slot and then immediately entangle it. Meaning as long as that troop is entangleable, they will have 0 attack because they just got entangled. Because it doesn't apply what was originally there. It actually applies the entangle to what is now the new first slot. On top of that, it also has a little bit of board control, not a lot, but has auto extra turn into 3 red destroy. That might not sound like a particularly high amount, but it does a lot of value more often than not. Especially since it's auto extra turn, so this 3 destroy could be enough to get you 4 times or 5 times, or something similar set up so you can go for another extra turn. And worst comes to worst, hey, it's 3 red mana into something on your team. But yeah, pretty good weapon, amazing, one of the best in the game. Situational when you bring it out, but really strong when you do. Anyways, aside from that, other things we have going on next week, there's a lot of things. Wednesday, we're going to be having the 4th of July pet on the 5th, because of course it always happens on Wednesday. 4th of July or Independence Day is on the 4th. So we have that. We're getting the pet for it. Looks like this. Doesn't do anything. Obviously, it's just cosmetic. But we're getting that. Of course, yesterday we actually had the Liberty Bell come back, the 2021 one, or whatever that was. So we had that once again. Aside from that, Thursday class event is going to be associated to Pride Land, so it's Sunspear. Sunspear is most noteworthy for 2 things. One is, I believe it's the only hero class that has Entangle Freeze. That combination. Of course, plenty have Entangle, plenty have Freeze. I believe it's still the only one that has both at the start of turn. Because, of course, if you want both, you just go Elementalist. But it has both guaranteed at start of battle, which is an interesting premise. But the main reason, if you're ever using Sunspear, is it has Perpetual Red Storm. Perpetual Red Storm is really good for any kind of red team that ends up needing a lot of mana. Sometimes Phoenicia ends up running it too. And a few other things you can end up doing with it. And then this Friday, we're going to be getting Bounty Hunter. With that being said, we're actually getting 2 new troops this Friday. One is going to be the Bounty Hunter troop. The other is the Mythic. And I actually don't have the Bounty Hunter troop up, so let's go show that one first. And then we'll go over the new Mythic once again. So which one of these is the Bounty Hunter? Should be this little guy over here. How do I do this? Copy link address. Actually, let me copy into new tab too. Wait, can I not? Come on. There we go. New tab. Does that just bring us straight there? It does. Never mind. We can do that. Let's see. So we got the Urski. As far as what the Urski does, this guy's coming in through Bounty Hunter. 8 mana cost, green, blue. He destroys 8 gems and then deals magic +2 damage to an enemy. That's not horrible from a Bounty Hunter perspective, because he costs 8 and he's getting 8. So, you know, he's basically breaking even on mana. And then he also gets to deal magic +2 damage to an enemy, which obviously is almost 0 damage. But compared to most things in there, it's not really that much. I wish that was true damage. If that was destroy 8 gems and deal that much true damage to an enemy, I feel like I would use it. The fact it's physical, it's probably only going to be used this event and never again. It does have Nature Link, which is nice, so its mana cost is even lower. Not only does it have 8 destroy, but he also has green into himself. I like how they're making it a static destroy, not based on magic, because they know how broken it would be if they end up doing so. But yeah, he's not going to be used going forward. Obviously, you have to for this bounty event to get the maximum amount of points. But beyond that point, I don't really foresee it being used. However, one kind of interesting thing we have going on, of course, first Friday of every month, we get a new Mythic. And given that we had a very weird date, where, you know, the very last day was the last day of the month, or the Friday was the last day of the month, we're not getting the Mythic until the last possible day, which is the 7th. The latest a Mythic ever comes in within a month. Yeah, we're going to be getting Morthani's Darkness. It is a Mythic from Golvania, Divine Undead. It's a 22 mana cost, red, purple, and brown. It steals magic +2 life from 4 random enemies, and then summons Morthani's Will. Morthani's Will is 11 mana cost blue, purple trip that can steal mana. So that's not a horrible summon, not the greatest of summons, but, you know, it's usable. I think the most interesting thing about this is it's basically Tina 9000 without the spell reduction, but it gains a lot of life. So, it's like an in-between between Draculus and Tina 9000. It has the life gain of Draculus, in that it's actually the exact same. I'll need to double-check their exact values, because it depends how much magic she gains. But it should have near identical life gain to that of Draculus. Like, almost exactly the same. So, that'll be interesting to see. But on top of that, she has a summon, and she can also focus damage. So, of course, Tina 9000, one of the benefits of Tina 9000, is if it double taps into one single enemy in a PvP-like situation, it's going to die. And I'm curious to see what her damage range is when she has all her magic, because we don't know exactly how much magic she's getting. Actually, we kind of do right here, so it's actually really low. If it's that many, never mind. It's actually absurdly low magic, so maybe it won't be too good. Maybe this value will get changed, I'm not sure. But, yeah, his magic is actually going to be pretty low, so maybe it won't get that good. Because 2 hits are probably not enough to kill something. And it is less likely for 3 of its 4 hits to hit the same enemy, compared to Tina's 2 out of 3. So it is less likely for it to get a kill in that regard. But you can look at it basically as just better Draculus. Draculus is just simply do true damage, lifesteal to everything, which, you know, is 4 hits. But it can concentrate its damage, allowing it to actually secure kills, because that's one issue Draculus generally has, is he doesn't really get kills. He just kind of does chip damage over time, just gains a bunch of life that he doesn't really utilize that well. And while this doesn't get to utilize its life that well, it's in between of both, essentially. It combines the better aspect of both in the ideal of trying to do something. Or maybe not the better excess of, maybe not the exact better concept of Tina, but you know, it's a nice in between of the two. I still feel like Tina 9000 of the 3 would still by far be the strongest, not even close. But I don't know, I'm curious to see how it works. Its traits did not get anything particularly good though. It does get to create an Uber Doomskull when its turn begins, which is actually really comparable to another troop. So it's a mix of like 3 different troops. It's a mix of, what's that one new mythic we got the other day? Or the other month? Actually, I think it was the previous one, oddly enough, so kind of funny they're doing it back-to-back. We're pretty close. But Grushnok, so it's in between of 3 troops. Draculus, Tina 9000, and this guy who I don't remember his name because he's not too relevant, but he's actually kind of good. Eye of Argris. So Eye of Argris creates 2 Doomskulls at the start of a turn, and that actually turned out to be really decent. And she ends up creating 1 singular Uber Doomskull, which, you know, not as ideal as 2. 2 would have been way better. But Uber Doomskull, you know, you're still getting the same amount of damage, in a sense. 1 Uber Doomskull is 10 damage, 2 standard Doomskulls is 5 each for 10. But of course, it'll be less likely that you can get alignment. But this might make her used in some kind of skull spam teams where it's used with Eye of Argris, her, and like 2 other options. I'm not sure. It'll be interesting to see how it pans out. But I still feel like creating 2 Doomskulls per turn is substantially better. But it's not bad. It's free value at the start of every single turn. And even if it backfires, she's going to have so much bulk that it wouldn't really matter. Now, this would have been a cool troop to add Skull Reflect on. Like, why did she not get Infernal Armor? Like, instead of Necromancy, they should have given her 25% Reflect. That would have been really cool. Because she gains so much durability that she can utilize it. And it would also make her a lot more like Draculus, because Draculus actually has a 25% as well. Not for damaging back, but for protection. It has Armored. So if we go over down to Draculus, it does have a 25%, but not Skull Reflect. It is 25% Skull Reduction. So it gets to survive a little bit longer. But that would have been really cool if they would have made her basically have 25% Skull Reflect, or even 25% Spell Reduction. Just to make it thematically a bit more like Draculus, but while still being unique enough to be its own thing. Because that would have been cool. I'm not sure why they didn't do that. They gave it Necromancy instead, which, based on what she does, doesn't actually help her at all. I guess if you're using her in like a soul farming team in the future, maybe she'll find her way into that. But I don't know. I feel like it's a missed opportunity to kind of make that just ever so slightly better. If this was any of the 25% related traits, either Skull Reduction, Spell Reduction to be the opposite Draculus in a sense, or probably the most useful one would be 25% Skull Reflect. So whenever she gets hit, she could hit back. So even if you miss with the Death Visage, you would still, hit them back quite substantially. A slight missed opportunity, but I don't know, it's still good. Big downside, compared to Draculus, she does have a higher mana cost. If I'm not mistaken, isn't Draculus like 20 these days? It used to be 24 if I'm not mistaken, but they did lower it. But yeah, he's only a 20 mana cost, or she has a 22, which is a little bit of a liability, but 2 manas. Once the numbers start to get that high, 2 mana isn't that big a deal. But anyways, yeah, it's not bad. It's a really like mid-tier mythic, but be interesting to see how it pans out. There's a lot you can mess around with it, if nothing else. But that's all rundown on everything. But yeah, that's everything going on next week. Quite a bit of things. We're like 20 minutes into the stream. Just talking about things going on next week. A very busy week. And honestly, the week after that's almost busier. Because the week after that, version 7.0, the new cycle of Doom weapons, which are bringing in some kind of Doom ring, which they kind of look a little underwhelming, but I don't know, we'll see. We'll have to mess around with them some. But it doesn't seem like most of them will have that much of a purpose. Maybe the green ring, maybe the blue ring, or the brown ring. There's a few of them that can kind of get some usage, but I don't feel like they're going to be too good, but I don't know. We'll have to see when they come out and just kind of mess with them. But yeah, we're going to be getting new Doom weapons coming out, or, one of them. We're going to have 7.0, most likely. That's not confirmed, but it's most likely date for it to occur. And yeah, we'll have the good old Tower of Doom event. Anyways, so in other news, let's go do things. So we do need to go finish out this faction. That should take like no time at all, and I'll hand out a redeem code once we do. I think all we have to do is like go through 1 or 2. I'm just going to do rush method. We have 3 battles. Might as well just go rush it down. We're just running with a Iron Gut Zolgov team. Anyways, hello everyone! Hope all you guys been doing well. Hello! Let me start from the top. Hello! Oh wait, 1 second. My chat just disappeared on itself. What has happened? Wait, 1 second. That was weird. Let me try this again. Hello Tyrion! Hello Roman! Hello Bill! Hello Humberto! Hello Cookie! Hello Stacy! Hello Sushi Ninja! Hello Isabel! Hello Jamie! Hello Hello Humberto! Wait, did I say Whitehelm? I meant to say Pride Lands. Did I say Whitehelm? I don't think I said Whitehelm, did I? I meant to say Pride Lands. I mentioned Pride Lands when I said Rope Dart. Did I say Whitehelm at all? I meant Pride Lands every single time. But yeah, next week's is Pride Lands event week. With a Golvania Mythic on Friday. With a Urskia Troop on Friday. With a Broken Spire pet on Wednesday. It's a very confusing week. But yeah, it is a Pride Lands event week. With a Broken Spire pet on Wednesday. For the July pet. With a Urskia Bounty Hunter, because we're getting the Urska thing, with a Golvania Mythic. So that's not confusing at all. Anyways, hello Jason, hello Crisp, hello, who else hello to? Hello Lester. Let's see. It looks like Winnie the Pooh. It kind of does, the Urskia thing. Let's see. Hello, Licht. Hello, Kikolier. Hello, who else hello to? Hello Supernova. Hello everyone else. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Anyways. Where were we? Let's go take our thing. Let's go finish these out real quick, hand out a code, and go from there. Also, I heard we have a pretty good adventure board today. I believe we have an Imperial and a VIP key or something there. So we got some really juicy loot today. Haven't claimed it yet. We're about to as soon as we finish this out. We'll go claim them right after we hand out the code. Yeah, we got some really good loot off adventure board today. It's almost like a mini holiday with how good of a drop we got. Of course, it was pure RNG that we would get that, but still... I hope they do end up doing one for 4th of July. Sometimes they do a little extra adventure board thingy. Not always, but you know, that's a holiday they might do one for. They have a gem sale going on, but of course it's not generally worthwhile to buy gems in the game. There's just so many other offers and ways to obtain gems. There is one of those going on. Also, I forgot to mention it too. We do have the hats too. We already have the 4th of July hats. Honestly, I didn't even notice it until literally just now. I generally don't pay too much attention to them. All I see is skull-like object. And it does what it needs to do. Yeah, they're all wearing the 4th of July hat thing. Also, hello Anthony! Welcome, welcome. Hope all's been well. We've been having a good time since then. We'll take the red over. Get our mirror lift rolling. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff happening in the game over the next 2 weeks, that's for sure. Basically, next week is the wrap-up week of everything. And then the following week is starting fresh with 7.0. And whatever they're doing with that. It's not confirmed, but it's almost pretty much confirmed at this point. It's confirmed without being confirmed that we have a patch that week. Everything's just aligning up perfectly for it to be so. And they've done it like that in the past before, where they normally use the intermission week to do the big patch. And it's pretty much guaranteed to be what they're going to do again. Unless it gets delayed or something. In which case the season itself might get delayed. Though we already have booty gems coded into the game, so they can still do the booty event without needing the patch. As they already were added in 6.9. And they probably did that just in case they couldn't get the patch out in time. So that everything would already be in order for the next campaign. Next campaign being in 2 weeks from now. Alright, I'm just going to do a rush method on this one, and then we'll do all the rooms in the following one. I think we'll be good to go. You've been playing Power Watching Simulator. I've actually never seen gameplay of it, though I have heard of it. I feel like it'd be a pretty relaxing game to play. We were just playing a pretty relaxing one earlier, too, Dave the Diver. It's kind of like the Stardew Valley, like Harvest Moon-esque games. But the main premise is more so around diving in a sushi bar, rather than, you know, the farming aspect. Like, it's one of those farming simulator games with less of an emphasis on the farming part and more on the seafood part. Let's see. We'll take that one over. Get our Marilith. Get an Iron Gut on most annoying threat. We'll go off the next most annoying threat. And there goes this whole team. That should be way match. I should love Iron Gut. What would we do without Iron Gut? It's actually nice because when Factions first came out, Iron Gut actually came in 3-4 months. Yeah, it came out in August, so he came out 4 months. Originally it was supposed to be 5, but he got moved up a month early. But yeah, he came out 4 months after Delves came out, meaning pretty much the entire duration of Delves, we have always had access to Iron Gut, which I could not imagine what Delves would be like without this thing. He's basically been the meta since the day he came in, 4 months in, and he's pretty much never stops. Like, obviously on other colors you have to do other things, but he has always been absurdly viable for these. You know what? I'm actually going to take out all the rooms on this floor. Oh, you know what? No, we're going to take the rush. We're definitely going to have enough points by doing the next one. I highly doubt we wouldn't have enough. We're going to get so much multiplier from not only doing this room, but also just everything in the next room anyways. We'll be fine. Now, we'll take out the Mirage Queen, get the other thing down, go down another Devourer, get the other one down, and he's very dead. 6-color Iron Gut. Honestly, I feel like he'd be weaker with 6 colors. Because what are you going to do for mana accumulation? Like, the only option you have is Leprechaun at that point. You know what? We could actually rush method down this floor. Just to play it safe, I am going to do every room, probably. But if we just rush straight to the final room, we would actually get it done without even needing to do anything in this floor. Well, we'll do all of them, might as well. I'll get the curse down. Even more of a buff to Iron Gut if it wasn't already strong enough. I almost keep forgetting about that too. Bane of Mercy. I don't feel like I've used Bane of Mercy that much since it has come out. But it's such an insane synergy. I feel like it's more so when you have access to Thrall. Because you kind of need that Thrall there to fully put together. Because even when we're doing it with this, like, yes, the mana's going into Zolgoth. But, you know, you're not putting it into your mana accumulator. Like, it's not feeding it to Marilith, which is not ideal. If it was, it'd be even better. Phoenicia with Iron Gut? That would kind of work. But you do conflict a little bit as far as what they do. Let's see. I'll take that one down. Oh, why did I think that was a Skull Cascade? Whoops. Doesn't really matter much, though. Oh, I just realized. The other one has Immune to Devour, and I almost clicked it. Because I was assuming it was Curse, but it already got rid of Curse from the Bane of Mercy. Let's see, how are our reward points going? Yeah, we can actually just take the final room. I feel hesitant to, because what if it's not enough points? But that's definitely going to be enough points. We can just take it and be good to go. Watch it be like 1 point short somehow. I don't think it physically can, with how close it is right now. Just have the paranoia that I'll do it and it'll be like, nope, slightly short. But no, it's easily going to do over 20,000 with all the extra multiplier it has. But let's play it safe. Let's do every room. Not going to chance it. Let's do every room on the floor. Because that makes the final room even more, because all those multipliers do apply to it too. So every single one of those is even more points. Not only more points in the fact that we're getting points for doing the battle, but more points in that it also is increasing the amount of points we're getting for the final battle as well. So we're double dipping on the points whenever we do any battle. As we get the points from this battle, in this case 3,840. But on top of that, we're also getting the multiplier applying to the final room's 4,800 number. So all that's also applying there. Yeah, we'll finish out every single room just in case. And then we'll go handle the code. And then we'll go mess with the dailies, because we got some really juicy dailies today. Definitely not ones you want to miss out on. I believe we have VIP key, 10 gem keys, an Imperial, and what would that be? 6 color deed then. I don't remember what color it was for though. Alright, we would 100% have enough points by now. You know what? We're just gonna take it. I don't know. We came this far. We gotta do every last room on the final one. We already did most of them. Might as well clear out the last 3. We're already here. Not good. We'll take that over. Get a Marilith down. Get our Devourer. Get our Zolgoth. Come on. All that board and no skulls. There's like 20 boards on this board. Oh, okay, maybe not. There's like 15 or so, or a dozen. Not a single one was near each other. Go figure. It's weird because with a lot of other gems, you know, it wouldn't really matter too much if it's like a pair next to each other. With skulls, it matters a lot if you're looking for that last little hit. Whereas if you need it for mana, you need to find like a 4 times or 5 times so you maintain your turn. But if you immediately do it as skull, it doesn't really matter if you extra turn after. Because you already just won the battle. Now, we don't have enough damage to poke him, so we're just going to Iron Gut him. Oh, we're going to poke him twice. That works too. Don't you kill the Iron Guy. I need that. You're like half damage, so you almost broke through our armor. And the deeper you get, the easier that is. It is very possible to later battles just lose your Iron Gut. I don't feel like it happens to me that often, especially with how much stats there are later in the game. But it is definitely something that very much can happen when you're not careful. Or you just get a really unlucky starting board, or Zolgoth super misses, which can definitely happen. You mostly just need to make sure you get down your initial Devour, and then after that, you're pretty much good to go. Or you're not dead. There we go. Score reduction coming into play. Okay, final battle, and we will definitively have enough points. So much so, we already have enough points. I know we need to do this battle, but sure, let's go do it real quick. Let's go get it done. And that'll be the last little bit of value there. Alright, so right off the bat, okay, I was gonna say, can I not take Mirror Lift here? We'll go for that, get a little bit of damage there. Go Iron Gut something. Solgoff something with score reduction. Ooh, no extra turn. Luckily, he didn't go for the extra turn Cascade, which he very much could have taken there. And we double skull in this match. Easy enough. And now I get to claim the last rewards. Come on, good orb. Good orb? Oh no, we got an orb of ingots. Oh, well, let's update the number. Where's my number updater? We have 251 ingots now. Oh, we broke the nice 1/4. That's unfortunate, but there we go. It has been done. Okay, so let's go hand out the code. Finally saw the AI use the new Fairy Fire gem today. And of course, all the troops in the Explorer were immune to Fairy Fire. Yeah, that can happen. That's funny. Well, you can always stun it and everything, though, too. That's kind of funny, though. But there you guys go. There's the redeem code to use on gemsofwar.com for the game, underneath the game code section. Your invite code can be found in your settings menu, right over here. Redeem code is right over there in chat. Copy paste the random numbers in there, summon at FW. Thank you. Same loot as always. True treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, 2,500 gold. Are your Pride Lands trials up to 10? No. Why? Wait, is it actually easier now? Let me see. What is the team right now? I didn't even double check that. Is it easier now than later? Wait, did it even change that much? Did it just change this one and this one? We still get the useless second claw and we still get Behemoth, which is like the auto carry. I would say the change that they made is an improvement. But you still have the same premise on both teams. And that the only troop you have is Behemoth. I guess the enemy team is a little bit easier here. Though Shadow Hunter can be really annoying. But actually, I don't know. I think both might be easier. Your team is slightly better in the new version. And the enemy team doesn't have Shadow Hunter, but they're replacing it for something else that's annoying, which is Sakima in third slot. But Shadow Hunter just boost ratios like crazy. Almost one-shots anything it touches. The biggest issue I would see with Shadow Hunter is Shadow Hunter would hit your Behemoth. And Behemoth is your entire team. So I would say it is actually easier with the changes they made. Not only is your team slightly better, but the enemy team doesn't have Shadow Hunter, which most likely would have hit your Behemoth due to the extra HP gain. Unless you somehow have a non-traded Behemoth. So I would say it's easier, since Sakima in this context is easier to deal with than Shadow Hunter. Mostly because Shadow Hunter would have pressured your Behemoth to die to their Behemoth. Whereas now Sakima is going to just focus down from the top to the bottom and just put Behemoth in the last slot to keep it safe from this enemy Sakima that's going to be in third with the new format. So I'm actually just going to wait and do them tomorrow then. As I do feel like it's going to be easier next week compared to right now. So we'll just wait until then. Okay, let's go clear out the really good adventure board today. So not only do we have 15 gems, but we have an Imperial, 6 red deeds, 2 VIP keys, and 10 gem keys. This is maybe not the best, but one of the higher dailies we've ever had for adventure board. Really high up there. Alright, let's go run. We'll go back to Magnesia, why not? I don't think I'll be able to run that for all of them. I'll run it for the initial few. And then change over to probably Zolgoff team, because we're actually going to need it for that much damage for the higher range. Those mythic battles end up getting a decent amount of stats. That'll bring out the good old Diamantina team. Actually, I think I might do that just to see what its damage range is. Now that I think about it, I'm not sure if I've ever taken out a mythic battle since we've had Diamantina. Because when was the last time we've had a mythic for a daily? It's been quite a long duration of time. But you know what? We're going to bring out the... I want the controlled one in case we need more damage. When it's really obvious we need more damage. So I want this one. Yeah, that one. Oh wait, this isn't the controlled one. Oh, you know what? This is the higher damage one. Let's just roll with this. I'll get mana a bit easier. Is it worth it to try? Wait, what is it worth it to try? Are your Pride Land... Wait, try what? Doing the trial now? Oh yeah, it's worth doing the trials now. Just so you don't have to do them tomorrow. It's still a similar premise. Your whole team is Behemoth. Like, your whole team is Behemoth now, and your whole team is Behemoth tomorrow. Like, it doesn't change. What you have for your team and what the enemy team is different. But in both situations, Behemoth is like 90% of your team. It's just a new format. You also have the option to go down the skull route. But I still feel like just going all in Behemoth is going to be the better way. Though you are going to need a poke with the Lava Giant. Because you need the Lava Giant to kill Sakima. So the whole team's going to be like Sakima, or Lava Giant 3rd slot. A Behemoth 4th. And the other 2 are just meat shields to die. It's pretty much the whole premise. And then the entire time your 3rd slot Fire Giant, or not Fire Giant, whatever it's called. The Magma Giant thing. The Fire, whatever the red base giant thing is. That guy will just keep hitting Sakima. And Behemoth just keeps casting. And that's just the entire strategy until you win. And then the other 2 are literally just there for meat shielding. Because you're never actually going to cast either of them, most likely. And if you are, you're going to throw the attack buffs downwards. Though, the other attack buff only goes upwards. So the only one you could really cast is the guy that can target a Pride Lance troop. And even in that circumstance, I believe he only gets the extra benefit if it's a Rashka. And there's only one Rashka on your team, and you're using him as a meat shield to die. So, attack buffing is going to be completely pointless now that I think about it. Because one of them is going to be up front because you want to kill it out. And it only does attack buff upwards. And then the other one, I believe it only boost ratios from Rashka. And the only Rashka you're using is a meat shield that you're trying to kill. So you don't even get to do any value from them. It's kind of unfortunate. So yeah, you literally only have a 2-troop team. It's 2 versus 4 next week. But your 2 are very good. Yeah, normal value for it would just be too low. Also, I keep seeing this and thinking like, oh, we got a gnome fight. We started a Gnomapalooza on accident. But no, that's just what the mythic battles are like. And I think we actually need double cast for this. Even with, even if we had the magic thing with the other build, that would still not be enough damage in this context. Black Manacle is also not enough. Barely not enough, but not enough. So I'm just going to have to fill this entire mana back, which this team is not meant to do. We'll get it back. Luckily, the second we do, that'll be match. We'll take the brown over in case we get lucky off a Sky. We didn't, but that's match right there. Wow, you almost killed Diamantina. I'm surprised with how much score reduction that thing has. And look at that, 2 VIP keys. I've been hoarding these VIP keys. This is every free VIP key they've given out in like the last 5 or 6 years or something. Though it is slightly inflated. Because about, I would say, 30 of them are not actually from the free ones. Some of these are from daily VIP offers, because sometimes you get them from offers here. And I believe there's an offer for like 2 or 3 of them for really cheap. So about 30 of them are from that. But the other 70-ish or so, they were all free VIP keys that have come out the last 5 years. I believe it's still impossible for... I believe you still need VIP 5 to buy these, right? They never made them free to play. So you have to have spent like $130 on the game to get them normally. But there are rare circumstances, even if you spend 0 on the game, where you can still earn them. And one of those is today. If you go do Adventure Board today, there is 2 VIP keys there. Because you can still earn VIP keys without having VIP 5, which is 130 bucks. Haven't been spent on the game. You can still earn them. Like right there. Just do that and boom, you get 2 of them. And you can use them whenever you want. They actually buffed them a couple years back. Like 4 or 5 at this point. And in them doing so, because that was one of the reasons I was hoarding. I was waiting for the buff. And then when they buffed, I just never bothered using them. Kind of like Epic Vault keys. Where theoretically they got buffed when the other Vault keys got buffed, in a sense. However, I haven't actually opened any of them, basically. I'm just kind of still hoarding them. And that's the case with VIP keys. I was holding out until they buffed it. Back in the day, it used to only have a 1% mythic chance. There also used to be a Tradestone resource drop that would take out like 10-20% of the drop. Now you guarantee get that extra thing. Or sorry, 30% chance to get the bonus Tradestone. So before that 30% or 20%, whatever it was, would get in the way of the drop table. Make it substantially lower how many troops you were getting. But also the other change that they end up making is you get 2 epics instead of 1. And the mythic chance, legend chance is also higher. But the mythic chance, most notably, was moved from 1% to 1.67%. So substantially higher chance than before. That makes it so like, what, every 70-ish or so keys is now a mythic. Give or take, obviously not guaranteed. Whereas before it was about 1 in 100. Now it's like 1 in 70-ish or so, 175-ish, somewhere around there. Somewhere in the 70 range. Anyways, with all that out of the way, let's go clear out our other dailies, because we're still not even remotely done. So many events going on today. Or mostly just to wrap up a bunch of them. Alright, so first things first, let's go throw down like 50 gems. Where's the gem thingy? And then go buy a bunch of flowers, which will buff up the other troop that we're barely ever going to use. But hey, we'll use it occasionally. So we just went from a Diamantina team to, guess what? Another Diamantina team. It's really strong these days. And it probably will be going forward for pretty much forever. It's just like a new version of Zolgoth in a sense. Not literally Zolgoth, but you know, in how much usage it gets. But it's just very versatile for everything, so might as well use it for everything. We'll go for the second Diamantina and dead. These are on a red restriction, and of course it doesn't matter what the color restriction is. You're always allowed to use it. So even for example, Tower of Doom next week, we'll be able to... I'll actually use it for that as well if we want. Or sorry, not next week, the following week. Not next week as in next week, but next week as in the week after next week. If that makes any sense. But yeah, not next week, but the week after that next week. Alright, I'll take that over. Try for double right off the sky. I didn't get it. I need this to not die to Death Mark, otherwise we're going to have to Angry Mob a billion times. Good, it did not die. And he did not die round 2. Good. Wow, that Death Mark stayed forever, but at least it didn't do anything. The Death Mark is honestly just a cosmetic overlay on the troop. I refuse to believe otherwise. No, you miss Salty. Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate we don't have a community manager presence in the game ever since Salty pretty much left. Because we don't get that much communication with the developers these days. Like, for example, unless you're in the beta, you have not the slightest clue what's happening next patch at this point. Unless it's leaked in all the spoiler threads, which sometimes it does. Or people just leak information or stuff. Which I've gotten information that way too, but I don't know anyone who's even doing the beta these days. Like, before I could still get some information because I knew some people that were. But nowadays, I'm not sure of anyone who's actually still doing the betas. Like, obviously, there still people are. I stopped, like, years ago. But, yeah, they did the beta for it, but, you know, we don't really know what's going to happen. It's just going to happen in 2 weeks from now. In about 9 days. Unless they delay it for some reason. Yeah, I miss getting, like, that community feedback and everything. Because the rest of the devs don't really do that too often. And I really missed, like, the super early days. Like, even before Salty and everyone else. When Nimhane and Surian used to be on the forums and everything. Like, you could just talk to, like, the lead developers of the game. And just randomly message them. And they would reply back in, like, an hour. Or at least within a day. You can't do that anymore. That was really nice, like, the first year or two when the game started. Because they were just always around. And Salty is actually one of the reasons why they kind of stopped doing that. But then when Salty left, and they left, or not left, but you know, when Salty left and they just weren't doing it anymore, now we have like nothing. Because one of the reasons they stopped doing that, or one of the contributing factors, is that Salty was kind of handling it all. So they didn't really need to do it anymore. It wasn't the same as when we had the lead developers there, but you know, it was a good alternative. But then they also lost Salty, and now no one's really doing that role. Like, when was the last time they streamed? Like, 505 Games. Or not 505 Games. That's who owns them these days. But, Infinity Plus 2, I meant. Like, their last stream was, like, a year and a half ago? I don't remember at this point. It's been a while. Okay, we did that. What have we not done yet? Oh, yeah, let me go buy my flowers. I don't really need the bonus, but hey, let's go get it. Obviously, we're going to get them at some point. Might as well get them now. Because I don't plan to really use her at any point, but obviously we got to get all the flowers. Not only for a max pet, but also to get the golden version for another pet. Because we don't own the golden version yet. You can buy it with money, but you can also just get it for free by just buying the pet thingy enough times. You got to do it 6 times, which is, what? 700 points? Because it's 105 times and then, or sorry, is it 205 times? No, it's 105 times and then 200. So it's 700 points to get the golden pet. Because you have to buy this 5 times at 100 each for 500, and then the golden one once for 200 for 700 total. And then you get yourself the golden pet without having to spend a single cent. And he's right over here. Oh, right there, yeah. And this one, actually, out of all the golden pets, kind of makes the most amount of sense. It's literally a golden, well, golden flower, quite literally. It's like a sunflower kind of thing. Like, that one out of every golden pet we've ever had makes the most logical sense by far. We still have 1 daily left, surprisingly. Well, actually, technically more if you count Underworld and everything, but 1 daily that we normally do. And that is Dungeon. Do we get to play Guess the Door today? Or just top 3 immediately? No! We got trapped. Boo. It's a useless trap that's not going to do anything, but still. It's 120. It did do something. It made it so we didn't get 120 Dragonite. Very unfortunate. Oh, were they live 3 months ago? Oh, wait, did they do one for, wait, what did they stream for? Because normally they do it around holidays if they are going to do one like that. Oh, I didn't catch that stream. Did they go over anything relevant? Actually, was it the whole crew, or was it just, what's her name? Was it just Jetto, or was it all of them? Because when was the last time everyone streamed? Like when we had Nimhane, Surian, Jetto, maybe someone else from the team. Like when was the last time they did a stream like that? Or was that the one 3 months ago? Or was it just Jetto doing something? I will take the... You know what? This is probably worth restarting. At this point, we're in one-shot range. Zolgoth would have to be really lucky to get that fight done. Hello, Lucien! Welcome, welcome. Hope all's been well. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Can't believe it's already over. This weekend flew by. Though in all fairness, I was playing like Dave the Diver like half the time. That was a pretty fun game. We still haven't finished it yet, surprisingly. It's pretty long. It had a lot of content to it. It's kind of weird because we actually finished the beta in 2 days. And I'm kind of surprised because, you know, we did another 2 days. And, yeah, we're still not done with the storyline. We're definitely in the final stretch. Like, next stream, I'm pretty sure we're done with it. Because we're in super final stretch territory. But, yeah, they added quite a bit of content. It's pretty fun. A lot of funny gimmicks. Let's see. We'll take that one over. If it overcasts. Though we're probably not finishing it until next week's weekend, though. It's kind of funny because I'm not sure why, but I've only ever streamed it on the weekend, so I figured we keep doing it that way. When we first did it, we did it on Saturday, Sunday. This weekend, we did it on Saturday, Sunday, and when we finish it, I guess we'll do it on Saturday. I'm not sure if we'll do a Sunday one, because it'll probably be done by then. Unless you just want to deal with post-game stuff. Which I probably will do at some point. I just don't plan to do it immediately upon finishing the game. Because there's still a few bugs they need to iron out. It's not, like, super buggy. But you can tell, like, there's a smaller team working on it for sure. It's not like it's like a AAA company or something. It's a pretty small team. I think it's like a dozen or 2 people or so. It's a relatively small team. Bob the Builder. Gosh, that song's stuck in my head now. I didn't watch Bob the Builder that much when I was a kid. I found the premise of it to be kind of weird, even as a kid. It just seemed like a really weird premise for a show. Obviously, there was a lot of other weird premises for shows, but that one just seemed really weird to me for some reason compared to some of the other ones. Alright, we did that, we did that, we did that, we did that. Have we done all the things now? I believe we have officially done all of the things. Oh no, World Event. Has my guild finished World Event? Though that's something we probably don't have to do. The guild has carried us. Thank you, guild. Angel or Devil title. What do we got? We got a purple. Gosh, we got like no good orbs this weekend. Do I need to go open some Volkies? How many Volkies do I have? Let's go do a Volky opening. I have 9. Let's go open all 9 Volkies. Come on, we gotta get something good. For all of our nice drops. We haven't gotten a single good orb all weekend. We've had a couple opportunities to get them. But none of them seem to want to drop. Let's see if we can get anything good here. I'll take our skull, why not? Try to get some mana somewhere. I can't move the other one over. We'll stick it brown. Get another hit over there. As long as there's enough skulls, a one-shot. Alright, come on, orb. Nope, another bad one. Well, that's not bad, but, you know, it's not the super good ones. But yeah, small purple, major purples, they're still good. It's not exactly what we're looking for. We're looking for those pet orbs. We're looking for those glory orbs. I still slightly need a few more major forgings. I'm not too inclined to get those too early because we're pretty much already done with forgings. Though we do need a few more. But then they become as useless as like an ingot orb. So I'm not in too big of a rush to go get them. Since the second we do, we're not going to need them anymore. Though there is a new wave of Doom weapons coming out, and who knows, maybe next patch will add another 6. So far, there's only been one update that they've ever added 6 Doom weapons for. Like, you know, a ton of Doom weapons at once. And it was the Soulforge update of like 3 years ago, where they added the Cursebreaker weapons. That was the most amount of Doom weapons ever added in such a short duration of time. Because prior to that, Doom weapons were basically added at a rate of once every 6 weeks, and eventually, currently, what is about 1 every 11 weeks. But, that was the first time they ever added that many so quickly. It was 6 within a single day. Of course, people earned them slowly over time, but it was effectively 6 in 1 day. Alright, we still have not gotten any good drop. That's concerning. Really unlucky on orbs and Volkies, apparently, this week. It's just not our week for loot, is it? Good thing it's not a Vault event week. We would have gotten, like, 0 loot at all. Also, it's nice. I'm actually getting back right in time when I take my trip next month. I wasn't even planning it to be like this. It just happened to fall that way. But unless they changed when the Vault Event week happens, which they have done many times before, but unless they change when the Vault Event week happens, we will be getting back like right before Vault Event starts. Which I didn't even plan. I didn't even know when Vault Event was when I planned the trip. But I get back like literally a day or two before or something. So yeah, we'll be right back in time for a good old Vault Event. Without even trying to plan around it. It just happened to fall that way. When's the next Vault Event? The 20-something. I think it's the 22nd. 28th. 21st? I don't remember the date now. I think it was the 28th. Let me double check. Because I would be back by a couple days earlier than that, so that makes sense. Yeah, the 28th should be the date. Easiest way to check would be right here. It is right there. Oh no, they moved it. Oh no, sorry. Oh yeah, it's the weekend before I go on the trip, not after. My bad. But yeah, July 14th. Wait, did they move this? Yeah, it's July 14th now. But yeah, my bad. It was the week before I go on the trip, not the week after. So that's the weekend before we go. But yeah, July 14th is the time. 14th to the 16th. That's in, what, 2 weeks from now? That's right around the corner. Not next week's weekend, but the following weekend is Vault Event weekend. Which I just realized, is that the same week as the patch? Oh no. You know how much stuff we have going on that week? Oh, remember when I was mentioning a billion things happening that week? We're going to be getting version 7. Oh, then again, the Mythics happened the previous week, so I guess not as much. But yeah, we're going to have a Vault weekend and a new patch on the same week. That's going to be a lot of stuff that week then. Because we'll have whatever we have to do for the new patch and 7.0, or, you know, it's a big 0.0, so probably something pretty big normally. And then we're also going to have a Vault weekend immediately after that. That's a lot of things. Anyways, let's go do some Explore 12 grinding, I guess, real quick. We've done all the other things. We've officially done every single thing that can be done other than Underworld, which, you know, I don't really bother with normally. We could. Of course, one thing that we could be doing if we really wanted to is, like, run City of Thieves for the entire place. Grab a bunch of loot here on level 50. Wipe it out with, like, a quick kill Rowain build. And we could theoretically do this every single day. It would take, like, 20 minutes extra. And, you know, just wipe this out. I personally skip on this every single day. But some people still do it. And it gives you a decent chunk of loot. And it can definitely add up. Like, just like what we're getting from this battle right here. We're getting a decent chunk of gold. We get a big chest at the end. That big chest at the end probably being the most noteworthy thing. As there's a lot of gold drops you can get, like tens of thousands at a time. You can get shards. You still need ingots for whatever reason. You get ingots. Which earlier on in the game would matter, but obviously later in the game you don't really need. And what's nice is it's all one-shot range. Of course, we don't have a level 20, but level 50 is still okay. The biggest issue with level 50 is that you don't get the extra multiplier. You have a 0.5 instead of a 1 times. So you're not getting as good of an overall value, but, you know, still getting some decent loot. Nothing else. I'll just take a little bit of Rowain there. Apparently we're doing these now. Actually, you know what we could do? We could do a deep delve version, which is something I might want to consider going forward. Like, do 1 deep delve every single day, which would be less time consuming than doing 3 standard delves. Because, you know, we get a guaranteed gnome that way too. So who knows, maybe we'll get a good gnome drop. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it can be cursed gnome as well. It can't be pet gnome. But I believe it can be some of those rarer gnomes. Like the cursed gnome, the dragonite gnome. I'm not 100% certain on that, but I'm pretty sure it can. The only gnome it can't be is the pet gnome. Because that's only in PvP and arena. And this mode is not PvP and arena, so they can't spawn here. Oh yeah, I forgot. Angels exist here, don't they? That's actually a weird mechanic. I was mentioning that the other day, too. I guess we'll take the Celestial. I thought that was a merchant for a second. I was like, oh, I'll take the other thing. But yeah, you may have noticed we didn't get a single angel or anything else while we were doing the faction event. That's because during faction events, you do not get those events. However, during... if you're just doing your daily delves for them, you do. Which is just so weird. Because if you do it for, you know, like the Tuesday event or the weekend event, like right now when we have the new deep delve, you do not have a single chance to get angels or merchants. But when you do it for your daily system, you do get the chance of getting them. Just something that's kind of weird overall. It feels like it should be in neither or both. It's kind of weird that you could play the mode, and then in like a near identical version of the mode, you can't get them. It's just kind of weird. It's a bit of an inconsistency. It kind of makes sense with how weekly events and weekend events work, because you are normally never able to get stuff like gnomes and stuff like that there, but still. Well, since we're committing to this, let's go run a deep delve here. Oh no! City of Thieves doesn't have a deep delve yet, I forgot! Oh, City of Thieves, go get a deep delve already. That has like 10 treasure rooms or something. I forgot I can't do a deep delve here because it doesn't exist. Oh, that's funny. I can't even do a deep delve there if I want to. Oh no, where has the best deep delve currently? I'm not even sure what the answer is to that, to be honest. Like, what kingdom that currently has a deep delve is the most effective deep delve in the game? Because most of them are improvement to what they have, but none of them are better than City of Thieves. Like, the best deep delve currently available is still worse than what City of Thieves offers. As well as even a couple others. Didn't Silver Necropolis get like a good one? Isn't this the deep delve variant? Yeah, this is the deep delve variant for Silver Necropolis. I don't know, is it any good? Doesn't look amazing. It has a lot of multiplier, but its treasure room number isn't that great. And that's what determines a lot of your loot. Oh, you know why? One of them got replaced with the guaranteed treasure room thing. I believe this one's treasure room and this one's treasure room, but it's overwritten by the gnome treasure room. So you can't even see that it's a treasure room there. But if I'm not mistaken, these two are both guaranteed treasure rooms, but it can the special chest that gives you a guaranteed gnome can overwrite treasure rooms, which makes no sense. I wish they would change that. Because that cuts into your loot a little bit, especially when you have a limited number of treasure rooms already within a setup. This place does have some pretty good multipliers that you could take beforehand to apply onto it, but I don't know, still not that worth it. But yeah, City of Thieves needs to get a deep delve. Now that would be an interesting one if they actually make it good. Because it's already an amazing place, and most of them are trying to be an improvement. Like, all of them have been so far. So to be an improvement of what City of Thieves already offers is going to be interesting to see what they come up with. Like, the only thing they could do is make almost every room a treasure room. Which I wouldn't be surprised. Like, literally a deep delve version of it where just every room is treasure room. Like, not all. Like, not like most, but literally every single room. Other than the first and final, obviously, because those always have to be the faction-related troops. I can see that happening. Yeah, Silver Necropolis actually is a pretty good one. It's slightly hard to tell with that format, but it's really good multiplier. And it does have 2 guaranteed treasure rooms, assuming that treasure room thingy doesn't overwrite them. So yeah, Silver Necropolis probably is the best one. Because Silver Necropolis normal layout's actually not that bad. And the other one's a little bit better for multiplier order. But anyways, guys, I think we're going to end it here for now, though. We will be back tomorrow. Same time as always, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 hour prior to now tomorrow. Tomorrow we will be probably covering a video on the Mythic. I'm not sure if I'll be doing that before or after the weekly video, but I did want to briefly cover the Mythic. He's not the greatest, but he is usable, and I did want to show a couple teams with him. Of course, we already had him for a week now. We've been messing around with him some. I'm not sure we're going to mess with him on stream tomorrow, but we'll be able to go do all the campaign stuff, finish all that out, finish out some more of the summer event, you know, all that normal stuff. And it's kind of a little bit of fun. We'll have the last week of the campaign, so, you know, we'll be able to get all that and go from there. And, of course, we have the Mythic to go over on the Friday, which is probably the biggest thing happening next week. We get the Independence Day pet on Wednesday. We have the Mythic on Friday and new Bounty Troop on Friday. So the Mythic's actually pretty interesting. Honestly, the Mythic that we get this Friday is more interesting than the one you get from the paid Battle Pass, which is kind of sad. But at least it's not power creeping the paid one, if nothing else. Though, of course, they're both going to be available in the future through the same means, Soulforge and good old keys. But anyways, guys, I'll catch you guys later. I hope you all... Also, one other thing to mention. You will not be able to get the new Mythic, the one in campaign, and event keys. So don't try going for it, by the way. Even though it's going to be Pride Lands event keys, you can never get the campaign Mythic from it. I sometimes forget to mention that. Like, I always mention it during the video, but sometimes forget to mention it on night before people start opening the keys. But yeah, you cannot get the campaign Mythic from the event keys tomorrow. And that's applicable to all the events. You'll be able to on the next Pride Lands event, but this current Pride Lands event, the one that's happening tomorrow all next week, you cannot get it during that duration. But anyways, guys, I'll catch you guys later. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and I'll see you guys soon. And we'll have the weekly video up soon, going over all the stuff as well. And we have a pretty busy week. Quite a few things to end out. Basically everything. It's essentially ending out the 6.9 era. We're going to be heading into the good old 7.0 and not in the 6s anymore. We're going to have the new Mythic and the end of the campaign. So everything wrapping up nicely for it. And of course the summer event also wrapping up for what will basically be the 7.0 happening the following week. Anyways, I'll catch you guys then. And thanks for stopping by. Goodbye, everyone.